The biggest story in the world has captured every country, every television, radio network around the world is talking about Kate Middleton, Will's wife, who has not been seen in public, photographed. Where has she been? The conspiracy theories are out of control, from the fact that she's maybe hiding an illness, a relationship breakup. Is she even alive anymore? These conspiracy theories are spiraling. They're now bringing in other people, neighbours. A woman has had to deny having an affair with Will's because that was a conspiracy theory. But the thing is, nobody knows how that family operate unless you've lived with them. And we are now very thrilled to be crossing to the other side of the world, to the UK, to speak to a man who is not only a close confidant, in fact, but Princess Diana said the only man she ever trusted. He's grown up with Will and Harry. He's lived in the royal family. He knows how it operates. Welcome to the show, Paul Burrell.
Hello, guys. It's good to be with you.
Now, Paul, you must see these things that unfold in the royal family and you know how it operates. You know how the advisors work. I mean, we watch The Crown and we get as much as we can out of that. But, Paul, with everything that's going on, can you tell us, what do you think has happened to Kate?
Well, it's all very simple, really. The world's gone mad. Everybody's gone bonkers. I've never read such rubbish in all my life that's coming across the internet. The internet's wild with speculation. But, you know, the truth is very simple. Kate's had a serious operation. The palace did say she'd be out of the world stage for quite a while, and she wouldn't be resurfacing until Easter time. Now, of course, the public can't accept that because they don't know what's going on. They want to know what's going on with Kate. They want to know where she is, but she wants to take some time out, and she's happy with her family and her children at Adelaide Cottage in the Windsor Great Park right now. She'll soon be going to Sandringham for the Easter holidays, to spend that with her family at Amner Hall, where they have a little retreat. But she wants to be below the radar while she recovers. And the world doesn't seem to accept that. And she's entitled to that. You know, she's entitled to some privacy.
So she's not dead?
You know what's happened in the past. I mean, the world knows what happened in the past. And William is constantly aware of the media and speculation. He does not want it to hurt his family. They live in a very tight bubble, and nobody gets inside that bubble.
So she's not dead?
She's not dead. She's not dead. She's alive and well, and she's recovering. And if she wishes to share her medical condition with the world, then it's her prerogative. But until then, you know, she has a right, as a woman, a wife, and a mother, to keep that private. Everybody has that right.
Of course. It's slightly different if you're on the public dime, though. And do they not help themselves by putting out a poorly photoshopped image like, oh, here I am, it's all fine? Doesn't that hurt?
That was a mistake. Yep, that was a mistake. There are two halves of Kate and William's life here. I mean, they are king and queen in waiting on the world stage, fine. And you're able to criticize and do whatever you like about their public role. But they do have a private role as a mother and a father in a family, so they're entitled to that too. The mistake was, of course, that photograph, which William took, Kate photoshopped. Now you know that every royal photograph is photoshopped.
But not by Kate.
I don't know how to Photoshop. Well, she stuck a few leaves on a tree, and she fiddled with their clothes just a little bit. And then the world goes mad and says, oh, my goodness, what has she done? Well, you know, the palace system were running around like headless chickens because they released that picture without actually scrutinizing it in the first place. So it's the communications department that should get shot. They're the ones that should get shot, not Kate. Kate is an innocent in all of this, and she didn't realize what she was doing.
Paul, I actually agree with you. In fact, I fought with my co-host here the other day about this because I actually believe she has a right to privacy.
No, she doesn't.
But this is differing opinions. I actually believe 100% with what you're saying. Personal is personal, and they absolutely deserve their personal life. What kind of the machinations behind the scenes at the moment? Because are would they be laughing at this scrutiny? I mean, every talk show, US talk shows are talking about her. She's coming up in interviews with Hollywood celebrities where they're trying to promote movies. Like this speculation. Would they be finding it funny, or would there be the communications department or the royal advisors, would they be losing their minds at the moment trying to wrangle this?
Two things. The communications department, they live in a Victorian era. They should come up to date. They should come into this world, because they're not. They're still in the last court. And William can't do anything about that because that's his father's court. You know, William is controlled to a certain extent because he's not king yet. When he's king, he can change the system. But until then, he has to put up with all the people that surround his father, who are leftovers from the Queen's court. So it's a very old-fashioned, archaic system. And William, you know, he just wants to protect his family. William and Kate, they don't scroll through the media. They do not look at social media and see what's being said about them, whereas Harry and Meghan do. They see every single thing that's read about them. Well, I think that's dangerous. I mean, I think Kate and William are sensible, and they know there are some very strange people out there in the world. They know who they are. They know what their role is, and they are trying to dampen down all of this speculation, and they're trying to live a normal life underneath this huge scrutiny. I mean, who'd want to be in their shoes? Quite frankly, I wouldn't.
Now, Paul, I've been going through Twitter a lot, and I've fallen in a deep, deep hole, Paul.
He's lost.
Yes,
Paul.
go on.
Help him out.
Now, this is one of the theories.
Twitter is a negative search engine.
This is one of the theories. Now,
go on.
Kate has had an affair with Will's best friend, who is the godfather to George, who died recently.
Right.
And
okay.
Wills didn't go to the funeral. Why wouldn't he have gone to the funeral when it was his best mate and godfather of the kid? And that now Kate is in mourning and shattered because he's obviously died, and Wills had been cheating beforehand, and now Kate is hammering Will, saying it's your fault, and there is a lot of hate because she was in love with the best friend. Bang.
Oh, wow. This sounds like a Hollywood movie.
Oh, a script from Bold the Beautiful.
Oh, true.
It could be something which Harry and Meghan had written.
Could be true. You reckon Harry would do that to his brother?
I don't buy any of that. I'm sorry to disappoint you. They are very happy. They're a very tight unit. They are very safe on royal property, and they are not going to stray until Easter. You'll see a different story at Easter time. If I was their PR man, I would put Kate in her finest, send them off to church on Easter morning. She would step out of church with her children, with her husband, and then it would squash all these conspiracy theories and put it all to bed.
Why haven't they done that, Paul? That's the only thing I am very suspicious of. They trotted her out. Just put her on the balcony and wave, and it all goes away.
William will not bow to anybody else's pressure, to the media pressure, the speculation on the internet. He says, well, why should I?
I love that.
Because I know the truth. And, you know, Kate's recovering. She's not 100% yet. When she's 100%, she'll be back. We're talking about our future king and queen here. And we should be a little more respectful, I think, to them. I'm a monarchist. A lot of people aren't. And I understand their point of view too.
Does he bow to Rose, though? Rose?
I'll be patient. Are they what?
Does he bow to Rose, because he's got a kid to her?
No, that's a conspiracy theory.
That's a conspiracy theory, and that is not true. Have you been watching too much of The Crown?
Yeah,
because when you watch
that's the best.
Well, when you watch The Crown, it scrambles your brain because I watch it, and I look at it and think, oh my goodness, that's not true.
Because you
that
lived
didn't
it.
happen.
Actually, on that.
And the Queen isn't a cold-hearted, miserable woman. She wasn't like that. Poor Imelda Staunton, I mean, she's just reading a script. But the Queen wasn't that person. So you see, the world is in danger of believing fiction. Don't believe it. Believe fact. I lived with them. I know these people. I know where they are. I know how happy they are. I still have contacts within the royal circles. And I know people who live very near them. So I know that all is well. And William will not bow to public pressure until he thinks it's the right time. It's not the right time yet.
I love that, Paul, and I actually admire that. I respect that, and I think that shows he's got a backbone. And going back to the
Yeah.
Queen, never complain, never
He's
explain.
protecting his father.
Now,
He's protecting his
I
father
love
as
that
king, and
too.
he's protecting the monarchy. He's protecting his wife. There's a lot of pressure on William's shoulders right now. You see, the king isn't well, and Kate's not well. Public duties are falling to William. He's having to lean on his aunt, Anne, who's Anne the Resilient. She never stops working. She's there, always there, and she's very reliable. So she's helping William out. And Queen Camilla. I'm not a fan, never have been, but at least she's standing beside her husband, the king, and she's sharing some of his workload. So you have to give her credit where credit is due.
Now, Paul, on that, and you said, and I know you know people who know you are convinced they're very happy. So, what
Yes.
light could you shed on the situation with Will's brother Harry? Because surely, at a time like this, their father's unwell. William's going through all this with Kate. He does have all this pressure on his shoulders. Is there any olive branch? Is there any chance of reunion? What is going on there?
Well, I'm afraid that William has drawn the line in the sand. He's said goodbye to his brother. He's suffered one too many humiliations, and Harry should know how to play this game. He knows the rules. He's been brought up inside this household. He knows what not to say, but unfortunately, Harry's pushed everybody under the bus, including myself. He's pushed everybody under the bus, and he's caused a lot of wreckage within the House of Windsor, and they don't trust him. And if they invite him back into their fold, he'll only scuttle off back to Good Morning America and do an exclusive. And that's not what William wants. William is in lockdown. He's determined to keep this family on the tracks, private, and then do the public duties expected of him and his wife as Prince and Princess of Wales. So I'm afraid this is the time, you're right, that he should be leaning on his brother, because Diana brought those boys up the right way, and she taught Harry that Harry's job was to be William's wingman. He was to be there for his brother through life, through all crises. So Harry has forgotten what he wants to forget.
Can I ask you this, Paul? Because everyone who listens to this show and my friends here know I am very much team Wills and Kate, and Harry.
Oh yeah,
me too.
Not a fan, but you know him. You've known him since he was a small child. Because what you said makes no sense to me, and I don't understand how he could think sharing personal details about his most loved ones, his father and his brother, and having a good whinge to America about these people. Is he stupid? Like, is actually missing brain cells? Because I can only give him the benefit of the doubt going, he's a bit simple and he didn't realise how hurtful that could be.
Well, I don't think he's simple, but he's never been the sharpest knife in the drawer. And I think he's found a way out. He's forgotten his past, his country, his heritage, his duty, because a woman came along who mesmerized him. She cast a spell on him. Listen, at that time when Harry was still grieving the loss of his mother, he was very young when that happened, broke his heart. And from then on, he acted out. And he tried to find someone to replace Diana. Along comes a 36-year-old woman, a mature woman, who was exactly the same age as his mother when she died. And she whispers into his ear, Harry, you and I could change the world. And I don't think Harry heard Meghan's voice. I think he heard his mother's voice.
Interesting.
Hey, let's get back to Kate. Now, that footage of the farmer's market with Wills was not Kate.
It was.
It wasn't Kate.
Yes, it was.
It was not
Yes, it
Kate.
was.
I
You're seeing
categorically say
doctored You're seeing doctored stills. It is I believe that it is her.
Christmas decorations, right?
It is her.
To my question,
She just popped out for a loaf of bread.
Did she?
Oh,
now,
yes.
do the
Stock
royals
standard.
use body doubles? Do they have body doubles?
No.
Ever?
No, they do not have body doubles because remember what the Queen said? We have to be seen to be believed.
Well, but it wasn't her.
And so they are. Yes, it was her. Did you not see how she was looking rather drained?
Skinny.
She was looking thinner than usual.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it wasn't her.
Yeah, because she's been ill. She's had a serious operation. And when you all find out one day what it is, you'll think, oh my goodness.
Do you know what it is?
How horrible. How horrible for the world to... do I know what it is? Well, I do, but I'm not going to say. Because it's not my place to tell you.
Can we ask you, Paul? Obviously, we are concerned also about King Charles, and
yes,
and we know over Christmas a lot happened over that period. That was when Kate was admitted to abdominal surgery. King Charles. There was also a night when a motorcade went through the city of London, and we don't know who was being rushed to the hospital. So everyone is a bit concerned. How is King Charles?
He's recovering.
He's recovering.
Yes.
So
he is recovering.
Okay.
He's working in private. He's still doing government boxes, doing government work in private. That's the truth. I know people that work at Clarence House, and they tell me that he's in fine form. He's not fully recovered yet. He has a condition very close to his prostate, and it's being seen to. He will make a full recovery. But of course, he's 75 years old, and that will take its toll on a 75-year-old. And, I always thought that Charles would be king for maximum 10 years. I thought it may be shorter now, because you see, Charles's philosophy was that he'd waited so long to be king, he had to do the job in the end. So he wanted to do the job. Now this has struck him down. What he's doing is buying William time, because William has a very young family. And Charles knows that when William accedes to the throne, he won't have the time to spend with his family and his children. He'll be on state duty. So really, it's a kind gesture. Charles is keeping the seat warm. And it'll be a very short monarchy. And then William will become king with his beautiful wife, Catherine, by his side.
Do you think that the monarch is dead, or do you think it's going to be alive in 10 years?
I don't know what the feeling is in Australia, but here in Britain, I think it's alive and well. I think it will succeed. The only caveat I will give you to that is the fact that everything hinges on Kate. Everything. And that poor woman has this pressure on her, because if she walks away from this with her 3 beautiful children, it's over.
Yeah, well, Paul, because that was one of the conspiracy theories about the marital problems, and I guess that was conspiracy theorists are thinking, well, hang on, if their marriage is in trouble, of course that's something the monarchy would want to hide, because where to after that? And that is your belief, that if that marriage were to fall apart at some stage in the future, it's done?
No, I don't think it will fall apart in the future. I'm just saying if ever it did, it would be disastrous for the royal family. So Kate's holding all the cards at the moment. She is really the most important person in that entire family. And I wish her well. I wish her a speedy recovery. She will be back at Easter time, and you will see her glowing as ever.
Well, Paul Burrell, thank you so much for this really insightful insight into the royal family and what is going on there. I think you've shed a lot of light, actually.
A lot of
common sense that maybe the Twitter sphere need to start thinking, maybe let's just all relax. There's a woman recovering, looking after a small family, just wanting a little bit of privacy. But Paul Burrell, thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. Anytime.